All right, so finally, to sum it all up, what is perspective? So I have up here a nice, beautiful chart that kind of explains to you. Perspective is how the narrator, audience, and character perceive what happens. So it's what they think they saw, it's what they actually saw, it's how they felt about what they saw. It's all of those different things come together. Perspective definitely has to include the character's relationship to the topic, and your relationship to the topic, and the author's relationship to the topic. So a lot of things are covered there. And then it also focuses in on the words and phrases used. And I put this besides point of view so that you can see how these two things correlate. So point of view covers all those three things too. But what makes perspective special, and what makes point of view add to it, you get what I'm saying, is that perspective includes the past history, the emotional ties, the critical thinking and thinking skills of both you and the character. So like I told you guys about that story I read in another in one of the other videos, the main character was the imaginary friend of a boy with autism, so his critical thinking was only as high as the boy who created him. So the way he thought about the world and the way he solved his problems were often childish because the boy was only like 10. Versus if I'm telling the story from an adult's point of view, the adult might take things and solve them differently. So that plays into perspective as well, because it's how they break down the world around them. So you can see the two distinctions here, but like I've said in every video, if someone asks you about point of view on the EFG or in a test, it's the same thing as perspective. In this particular case, it's one of the words they've decided that they just want to mean more than it does. But remember, perspective is a worldview. That one right here, worldview. It's how the character perceives his whole world, and it takes into account everything about the character. Remember, you should have been writing things down as you listened, or as you went through to help you remember, or you should save this slideshow, or you could do both. Both are very good. And remember, come to class if you need any assistance.